Hi, I'm Ashley. Today, we're diving into one of the most mind-blowing entrepreneurial stories of our time. Imagine starting a business from your garage, and just a few decades later, it's worth over $1.7 trillion. Yes, that's the story of Amazon. And the man behind it all, Jeff Bezos. But here's the twist. Jeff didn't just build a company, he built an empire, revolutionized e-commerce, and became the world's richest man. And it all started with a simple idea and a relentless mindset. You won't believe the risks he took, the setbacks he faced, and the sheer determination that kept him moving forward. But what really made Bezos unstoppable? Was it luck, genius, or something else entirely? Stick around because I'm going to reveal the secret behind his unbreakable mindset and why most entrepreneurs fail where he succeeded. Let's start from the beginning. It was 1994. The internet was in its infancy, and most people had no clue what it would become. But Jeff Bezos, working as a vice president at a hedge fund on Wall Street, saw something others didn't. The internet was growing at an incredible rate, 2,300% per year. That number stuck in his mind. He knew this was more than just a fad. It was a revolution waiting to happen. One day, while scrolling through a list of potential business ideas, he came across something that clicked. An online bookstore. Books were the perfect product to sell online because they were relatively inexpensive, didn't spoil, and there were millions of titles available. But here's the catch. It meant leaving his cushy, high-paying job to pursue a risky idea that could easily fail. Most people would have stayed in their comfort zone. But Jeff, he had a vision, one that outweighed his fear of failure. He packed his belongings into a car, and with his wife Mackenzie by his side, they drove from New York to Seattle. During that trip, Jeff wrote the business plan for what would eventually become Amazon.com. Now imagine this. Your friends think you're crazy, your family doubts your decision, and you're risking everything you've built for a dream that sounds far-fetched. That's exactly where Bezos found himself. But his philosophy was simple. When faced with a tough decision, project yourself to age 80 and think about what you'll regret. For him, not trying was the biggest regret, but starting wasn't easy. Bezos had no fancy office or big investment. Instead, Amazon's first headquarters was his garage, where he and a small team started building the website. They had a few desks made out of doors to save money, a frugal mindset that stayed with Amazon even after its explosive growth. Within just a month of launching in July 1995, Amazon was selling books to all 50 states and in 45 different countries. But success wasn't guaranteed. Back then, online shopping was a new concept, and many people didn't trust it. Plus, Jeff wasn't just battling skeptical consumers. He was competing against established giants like Barnes and Noble. But here's where Bezos did something most entrepreneurs overlook. He didn't just sell books, he built a customer-centric culture from day one. His famous mantra was, "Start with the customer and work backwards." That's why Amazon offered something revolutionary at the time: user reviews. Other retailers didn't dare let customers criticize products, but Bezos believed honesty would build trust. And guess what? It worked. People began to see Amazon not just as a bookstore, but as a place where they could discover products with real feedback. But even as sales grew, there was a looming threat: the dot-com bubble. Companies were collapsing left and right, and everyone expected Amazon to be next. The pressure was immense, and Jeff faced constant doubt from investors and analysts. But what did he do? He doubled down. Instead of playing it safe, Bezos pushed for rapid expansion, adding more product categories and innovating relentlessly. His mindset wasn't about surviving, it was about thriving. He once said, "If you're not stubborn, you'll give up on experiments too soon. And if you're not flexible, you'll pound your head against the wall and not see a different solution." But why did an Amazon collapse like so many other dot-com companies? The answer lies in Bezos' obsession with long-term thinking. While competitors focused on quick profits, Bezos was willing to operate at a loss for years to build infrastructure and customer loyalty. He wasn't building a bookstore, he was building an everything store. And here's something most people don't know. Bezos would personally read customer complaints and use them to push Amazon forward. He wasn't just running a company, he was constantly improving it from the ground up. But the most astonishing part? This relentless drive wasn't fueled by money or status. Bezos' mission was clear: make the customer experience as seamless as possible. And it's that mindset that turned Amazon from a small online bookstore into the world's largest online retailer. So, what happened next? How did Amazon survive the dot-com crash and keep growing while other companies vanished? Stick around, because the next chapter of Jeff Bezos' journey is even more surprising. You won't believe the risks he took and the challenges that almost brought Amazon to its knees. But before we dive into how Amazon not only survived but thrived during the dot-com crash, let's rewind for a moment. Remember, by the late 1990s, Amazon had become a popular online bookstore, but investors were skeptical. They didn't believe an internet company could compete with traditional retail giants. In fact, Bezos was constantly questioned about profitability. But here's where Jeff's vision was different. He wasn't just building a store, he was building an ecosystem. Bezos knew that to become indispensable, Amazon had to be more than just a bookstore. So he made a bold decision: diversify. Amazon started selling CDs, electronics, and toys, eventually branching into almost every product category imaginable. But with rapid expansion came growing pains. As Amazon scaled, it faced logistical nightmares. Warehouses were chaotic, orders were delayed, and critics were quick to label the company as an overhyped bubble. Meanwhile, Barnes & Noble launched their own online store, openly declaring war on Amazon. So how did Bezos respond? Did he panic and scale back? Instead, he doubled down on logistics. He invested millions in state-of-the-art fulfillment centers, designed to optimize the picking and packing process. He knew that speed and efficiency would set Amazon apart. And while this strategy seemed reckless at the time, it laid the foundation for Amazon Prime and same-day delivery. But then came the real test: the dot-com crash of 2000. Overnight, once promising internet companies collapsed. Stocks plummeted, and Amazon's share price fell from $107 to just $6. Investors were terrified. Analysts predicted bankruptcy. Yet, in the midst of chaos, Bezos remained calm. You see, while others were chasing short-term gains, Bezos was playing the long game. He addressed his employees directly, emphasizing that Amazon would survive because it wasn't built on hype. Instead, it was grounded in customer obsession and long-term value. While others folded, Amazon kept expanding, introducing new categories, improving logistics, and quietly acquiring smaller companies to strengthen its supply chain. But here's what most people don't know. Behind the scenes, Bezos was relentless. He cut unnecessary expenses, streamlined operations, and focused on efficiency. One of his most famous decisions? Insisting that meetings be structured around 6-page memos, not PowerPoint presentations. He believed that clear, deep thinking was more valuable than flashy visuals. During these tough times, one of Bezos' most profound statements surfaced: if we can keep our competitors focused on us while we stay focused on the customer, ultimately we'll turn out all right. And he was right. While competitors fought for survival, Amazon emerged stronger. By 2003, Amazon was profitable for the first time, earning $75 million. But what made Bezos so confident when everyone else was panicking? It boils down to one principle: customer loyalty. He knew that if people trusted Amazon, they would keep coming back. And as the internet continued to grow, so did Amazon's customer base. Fast forward a few years and Bezos was ready to introduce something revolutionary: Amazon Prime. It was a risky move: charge customers an annual fee for faster shipping. Critics doubted it would work, but Bezos believed that investing in customer satisfaction would pay off. Prime became an instant success, creating a loyal customer base willing to spend more on Amazon than anywhere else. And this is where Amazon transformed from an online retailer to a tech powerhouse. Bezos didn't stop at e-commerce. He expanded into cloud computing with Amazon Web Services, AWS. Today, AWS alone is worth hundreds of billions, proving that Bezos' willingness to take calculated risks paid off. But why was Bezos willing to keep risking everything, even when Amazon's future seemed uncertain? The answer lies in his core belief that innovation and risk are inseparable. In his words, you have to be willing to be misunderstood if you're going to innovate. And innovate he did. Amazon went from selling books to becoming the go-to platform for virtually anything. Bezos introduced Kindle to dominate digital reading, launched Alexa to enter the smart home market, and acquired Whole Foods to merge online retail with physical stores. What's truly fascinating is that Bezos never got complacent. Even as Amazon dominated e-commerce, he continued pushing boundaries, investing in artificial intelligence, automation, and even space exploration with Blue Origin. Today, Amazon's value exceeds $1.7 trillion, and it employs over 1 million people worldwide. Yet, Bezos' philosophy remains simple. Focus on the customer, innovate relentlessly, and never fear failure. It's this mindset that not only made him the richest man on the planet, but also created a company that has fundamentally changed how we live and shop. So, what's the key takeaway from Jeff Bezos' journey? It's this: success isn't just about having a great idea, it's about executing that idea with unwavering determination. Bezos didn't just dream big, he acted on his vision with grit and innovation. And as Bezos steps back from his role as CEO, Amazon's legacy continues to grow. His story reminds us that true visionaries don't just follow trends, they create them. And in doing so, they change the world. So, the next time you shop on Amazon or stream on Prime, remember that it all started with one man's willingness to leave a comfortable job and take a wild leap into the unknown. And who knows? Maybe the next great tech titan is out there right now, building their own empire from a garage. What do you think? Would you take that leap? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible stories of tech billionaires and visionaries. See you in the next video.